Hey guys, welcome back to Mentality, hosted by yours truly, the Civilized Savage. This is a space for real talk, for real men, for real growth. And today I have with me a gentleman who is an author, who has experienced life on both sides of gang culture. He is the author who's titled the book Pain That Turns Into Power. VIP, welcome to Mentality.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. So add on to the introduction and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and who you are.
I am VIP Busy Law, CEO of Very Important Plans, LD, and a brand that inspires, encourages, and celebrates humble beginnings to hundreds from shillings to millions and billions.
Jeez!
Also the brand that reminds us that dreams don't catch themselves, so we got to do, and a dream without a plan is literally just a wish. Also the author of The Pain That Turned Into Power, a guide to planning with purpose and elevating off of the block.
Love that. All right, so let's just get straight into it. So I kind of feel, I've read the book, by the way. I was very honored for VIP sent me it ahead of time. Yeah. It's a very powerful read. It explores homelessness, your fatherhood, obviously tapping into gang culture, not only you living that life, but how you came out of that life. And I feel like this almost really reflects exactly what the mentality space is you kind of airing your voice as a man in your most vulnerable state for people to really hear your voice and your experience. Again, why mentality has been created and why we're even having this conversation now. I've said it and I'll say it again. Women often have spaces to talk and share and be heard. And I feel like a lot of the time men don't have that same privilege. So talk to us a little bit about what it was that generated the desire in you to kind of put this work together.
2009, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad for the first time. And the way that made me realize there's more to this life than a road life. I didn't quite get it or understand it, but it just gave me an inkling of there's something outside it that I need to be chasing more, like assets, liabilities, financial literacy. And then I started realizing selling this and flipping that and robbing that and doing that, that's not an asset. As quick as it comes and as easy it is to do, it's not an asset. It can get taken away at any time. My freedom can get taken away. So I kind of started easing off all that. I was at the time selling my mixtapes on high streets. I was lucky enough to make a mixtape and think, let me go Oxford Street and go sell it. So
hustle mindset.
That's it. So once I'm making £150 profit a day, I'm like, why do I need to sell that? I don't need to be on the roads doing this and that. But I was still, after that, go back on the block and show my friends, as it was the transition of it. I'm still going back to the block. I'm still chilling with the man then, but I'm realizing I don't have to go and do what you lot are doing over there. I'll see you lot later, sort of thing. And that kind of eased me away from it. Then I read more and more books and listened to more and more motivational speakers like Eric Thomas, Les Brown. Like, became very obsessed with it all. And then, like, literally, I thought to myself, I want to do this for the world. The same way, like, I'm a Nipsey Hussle fan.
Touch you.
Like, I'm a Nipsey Hussle fanatic as well. Like, I'm big on manifestation and that, innit? So I will close my eyes and visualize myself in a place where Nipsey Hussle is when I'm listening to his talks or listening to his music and that. I'm not just listening to it, I'm actually visualizing me being exactly where he is. So all of them things just made me think, all right, it's time to write a book now.
I love that. So just hearing what you just said just there, and you saying that you're a Nipsey Hussle fan and you really kind of tapped into that visualization of who this person was and where they were at and kind of putting yourself there, it sounds as if that indirectly he was like almost like a mentor and a role model for you.
Most definitely.
For younger boys who don't necessarily have those role models and those people to kind of aspire to, what kind of advice would you give, or how do you think that younger men can shift out of the kind of road life that you was in? Because you said it was, for you it was books and it was that connection with Nipsey. What if guys, because a lot of people don't read, a lot of people don't have people in their life that they can look up to, whether it's people directly in their family or people in the wider society. So what could you kind of offer to people in those spaces as an alternative means of transforming and moving out of those spaces?
See, that's a hard one, because like it has to be self. They have to tap into self. Like if you don't read, then watch videos on how to tap into self and stuff like that. Because once you tap into self, that's when you start realizing you're better than all of this. And it's like my parents, my family tried to tell me go down this road, but I went down that road. So it's very hard to just tell that generation now that you need to do this and you need to do that, because there's so many motivational people out there like Bouncer, but there's things he's getting mixed up in that side of things, where now he just looks like someone that's part of the passer, when really he's got a lot to offer this generation, like in the sense of
growth,
inspiration and growth and stuff like that. But the other people, like I mentioned a good few rappers in here as well. Potter Paper, Rimsey. These are people that have actually they've been to jail themselves. They've come out and they're literally turning it into, they don't care about all the noise that's going on around them. They've got their avenue in music. And I feel like everyone don't realize it. They feel like they're running around like wolves, but really you're sheep. You're really sheeps. Like so that's why you have to tap into self, because then you realize I'm better than a sheep life.
Can we explore that a little bit though? Because I feel like, similarly to when you say you can't just tell people to do stuff, I feel like sometimes when we have conversations about tapping into self or letting go of things or showing up authentically, that even feels like very loose. So for you, do you have like some tangibles of what tapping into self actually means, like in real life terms?
Taking yourself away from the noise. Like spending some time with yourself, even if you're not meditating or doing, and just sitting by yourself and thinking, what can I offer this world? When you realize, like, what are we gonna live and die doing the same thing as everyone else? Surely you must realize that you have an individual purpose. Like, I'm big on our biggest blessing that we've ever been blessed with is our individuality. On top, like, not just life. On top of life itself, yourself, what you've got to give to this world, that's your blessing. But you ain't gonna know it, and it's not your fault. You've been programmed into not knowing it and
disconnected. From
self. So it's time to really grab back your power, like take back your control, because it's been stolen away from us all.
And I agree with that. So what I'm hearing there is like, for you, a tangible way of kind of like tapping into self is, I guess, like getting silent, getting still, having an opportunity maybe away from everybody else's opinions and thoughts and judgments of who they think you are, and trying to get clear on who you believe yourself to be and what you believe you have to offer, and how you can be of service to the world. Would that be a kind of
definitely
a good
and
interpretation?
Obviously, a lot of that generation, whether they just had, because I've got 3 kids. My oldest is 19. When she was first born, I was still outside doing madnesses. They're not gonna realize it until their kids start getting older and they start reaching milestones of their badness. Like when I turned 14, when I turned 14, I got arrested for the first time, kicked out of school and all that. So when my oldest is turned 14 now, and I realised, like, my mum was a year younger than me than when I had her. So, mum, you was only 31 when I was putting you through that, thinking that you're a big woman. She got it figured out. It's all right. Like, you get me? She's got her thing. Like, you get it? So, it's a thing where you're going to grow up and your kids are going to get older. Not only that, your parents are going to get to an age where you need to look after them now.
Start parenting them. Yeah, absolutely.
You can't do that from a graveyard or a cell. We're taken away from these real facts of life by everything that's just forced in our face and force fed to us. Do you get it?
Absolutely.
And like, it's so easy to fall into that road life, the quick money, the quick this. Cool. You see me writing this book. It took me just over a year to write. I have no business going outside and saying, big man, you smoke this, big man, you smoke that. Here's my number. I ain't got so I've gone through my brokest days whilst I was writing this book. But you see, when my belly was really touching my back, and I hadn't touched this, I've thrown every single penny I've got onto Forex and lost it all. I'm sitting there thinking, you ain't written your book for the last 2 weeks. Write that book. When that's come out, because I've sold less than 2.5 months ago, I bought this out. I've sold 400 now. I'm waiting on my, do you get what I'm saying? And I'm doing them £10 each. So all them brokenesses where I'm saying, well, write in your book, then hyper focus on the book. Then I got to the end of it, finished it, and I got a product in front of me. So they say slow money is better than no money. Try making no money whilst you're literally working towards the real bag. Cause this is the real bag now. Things like this, these podcasts, we don't know how far this is gonna go here. We don't like what's the word? Affiliates as well. When I really start making a noise, and it's gonna sell itself.
It's a wrap, guys. Don't sleep on VIP and the book. Turning that power into that pain into power.
Don't sleep in yourself.
Don't
Because my
sleep.
story is, I got kicked out at 18,
I was
and I
gonna
grew up in
touch on that, yeah.
So I grew up in Brixton, where I'm already on badness, and that I've got my ways of making money already. So now it's straight survival. I'm not just doing it just because I enjoyed it. Now this is how I need
got
to
to live.
survive.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But that's just my story. Other people have had nitties as parents that they've overcome that and became. They've became someone that's not involved in it anymore. They've got a story to write as well.
Absolutely. So can I just take a minute for a second? So in the book, and just now when you was talking, you mentioned the fact that you had a child very young.
Yeah.
And you was essentially a teen parent.
Yeah.
And so can you talk a little bit to us about how being a young father kind of impacted you as a man now today? Can you kind of talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. As I say, like I was living in a hostel in the like middle of Brixton, and I'm from that side of it in bandana days, where I'm rocking a different bandana to what this hostel is. I'm still bringing my daughter there. I've had something pulled out on me and walked up to the guy and said, "Right, you're gonna burst it." This is not when she was with me, but I'm still bringing her to that hostel. So at that age, when she was like knew that she was about 2 when I was there, I weren't tapped into like how much. What parent life is.
Yeah, and how much you needed to be alive to raise her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So obviously, as I've got older now, and like I said, I was blessed enough to be able to step away and just sell my mixtapes. And every time I'm picking up my kids now, I've got like a few £100 to do whatever I want with them and stuff like that. But cool. I haven't, like, of course my family loved me and that, but they didn't know how to for so many years because I was the black sheep. It's not their fault. It's not my fault. It's just how it's turned out. I'm the first person of color that's in the family. It's not my mum's side of the family's white, innit?
Okay.
My dad popped down like he's gone. You get me?
So you didn't have a relationship?
Yeah, I never had the only black men that I had around me was my auntie's baby dad and my other auntie's boyfriend from when I was like new to fresh born up until I was like 13. I support Liverpool because of him. That I say it in the book. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and that's another reason why I got 3 baby mums, because I'm looking, remember I'm getting kicked out from so young, and I'm looking at these older black role models around me as people that's living in my auntie's house. My mum's other half still to this day living in my mum's house. So it's a thing where you're kicking me out. Survival. What are these men doing? Find a woman to go.
Wowzers! I hear it. Yes.
So yeah, like it's reason why I said that is because I haven't been parented since I was 18, life. So it's very hard for me to. My kids. I'm at the end of the phone all the time. I just drop back my son to his mum's, brought my daughter back down here today. Do you get it? I'm still playing my part, but I'm sitting there thinking, but I'm trying to create legacies for you lot as well. I don't know how to you have to balance it.
So let me just interject very slightly. I don't want to interrupt you, but just as a slight interjection. So you haven't been parented your whole entire life. You have a child very early in life. For a lot of people, they're battling like inner child wounds. Yeah. How do you think, if at all, you now as a man that you are able to kind of like, parent that child within yourself that didn't have that role model, that mother who, well, you did say your mum was there for you and she did her best, and you were just being unruly. You were just outside. But how do you now try to parent you as a adult person, but for the child inside that didn't have any of that? Is that even something that you
definitely like
kind of
positive
explore?
thinking, all of this law of attraction stuff, and like the power of now, all these the books have been my parent. These authors have parented me to become the person that I am right now. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to do for the rest of the world that can't do. I wanted to bridge that gap because none of these authors have been on the roads. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? But so things like the power of now, I live by these things. I'm back reading from today, the Think and Grow Rich again.
Okay.
For my 8th time now. Yeah, for my 8th time now.
You need to go back.
This is how I parent myself. I like watch motivational speeches. I look at people who's done what I'm doing, who's got to where I'm trying to get to, and I think
kind of give you that foresight of that's how I can get there. Yeah. You're talking about lots of books. Yeah, I'm a bookworm myself. Have a book club and all the things, as you already know. Love a bit of book reading. If you were to recommend, obviously outside of your own, if you were to recommend a book to your 18-year-old self, yeah, to kind of get you through particular periods in life, what would have been that book that you would have recommended outside of Think and Grow Rich?
I wouldn't go straight to Think and Grow Rich. I'll go to a more mind pattern in your mind, getting rid of your ego, and that
Okay.
it will be The Power of Now.
Mm-hmm. So that's what you would offer to your 18-year-old self.
Yeah.
What book would you recommend to boys of this generation who are 18 in 2025?
The Power of Now.
Still, okay, what is it about that book that speaks to you and you think
it makes you realize that you're not your mind. You're not your body. You have a mind. You have a body. Therefore, and I always explain it in a way like, you see, if somebody was feeling very low and wanted to end it all, they're going to be walking to the top of that building and they're going to, it doesn't say this in the book, but this is what I've taken from it. They're going to be walking to the top of that building. Something in their mind is going to be set. Who's their mind? it's not their, they're not their mind. You get it? But they're going to be walking to the top. Something in their mind, their higher self, which I know it to be, but this is what basically is going to be saying that's going to hurt. Maybe that person does love you. Maybe this, maybe that. And it makes you realize that you got a higher self that talks to this, these, like, and then it makes you realize that your ego, your emotions and everything is part of your lower self. So it's about learning how to use your higher self to like basically control your lower self. And then you move on to the to the Get Rich books and all that and this and that. But we need to pattern our mind because the ego needs to be eradicated.
Absolutely.
You get it? Like, as much as it can, because it's there. It's got its
purposes. Yes, it's there for a reason. Because ultimately, your ego is there to protect you, to make sure that you're safe and you don't go into harm's way.
Exactly.
But obviously, as we kind of go through life, it kind of amplifies itself and it takes over and it starts to make us feel more grandiose than we might necessarily be. And it starts to give voice to, as you said, like the kind of lower parts of ourselves that are not necessarily the most beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's tap a little bit more back into the book. As I said, I've taken a read of it. Like I said, it's spoken about homelessness, your experiences as a parent. For you, though, what would you think is the overriding lesson from the book that you think the men, not even just the younger men, but men in general, can take away from this text?
Do you know, this book here, it's mainly towards the parents that's trying to parent through this culture. So it's not really, I will be writing a book that's directly, but I know that the young GMs ain't going to be picking up no book. So I'm trying to approach like the people like my mum that didn't have the tools or the mindset how to deal with me back then.
Yeah.
In hindsight, this never worked for my mum, but it does work for me and my kids. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
What I will say as well, like obviously I'm there to be that dad to my kids. Like if my boy is doing a madness, my phone rings and you get me? I'm there to do that. So as I say, like the roads is the roads, but if we're having kids, we're gonna have to parent them,
100%.
and we can't do that from jail cells, and which is everyone knows that anyway.
Common sense.
Common sense.
But
it's so deep. It's deeper than common sense. But it's just like people don't take it for granted until they're sitting behind that door, or you get me. Like obviously you don't know what they're thinking when they're in the grave, but you're not there to so the cycle's gonna continue. We need to break the cycle. That's what the book's about, breaking cycles and finding ways to break cycles, and that's a massive part of the cycle that needs to break.
Absolutely. And just when we were talking about ego just now, I feel like particularly for men, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to assume, so I'll ask you, do you think that for a lot of men it is that grandiose side of the ego that prevents men from being vulnerable, that prevents men from showing sides of themselves that other people perhaps might deem as weak? And if you do believe that to be true, what would you suggest as ways for men specifically, young boys, to navigate that?
It's not easy, is it? It's not easy. Trust. You know what? I've been vulnerable in this book, but I've always been a pain rapper. If you remember back in the day, Styles P and all these rappers, they all talk about their darkest of times.
Absolutely.
And I've always been that rapper myself, so this is easy for me to get what I'm saying. But I think it's just a thing, like obviously it's peer pressure. People don't want to look a certain way in front of their friends or to the rest of the world now because it's social medias. So I feel like everyone just needs that strength. Do you get it? It's not being weak by being vulnerable. That is actual strength. I don't give a what these people want. What can you tell me?
Absolutely.
Like, that's strength there. Like, I don't fear no one's opinion of me, and that's what stops most of us from success: fearing other people's opinions. Like,
absolutely. And their judgments and projections and taking things on personally that we don't. Like, my brother says to me all the time, nobody cares. Like, if we actually started to realize how much people don't care about us, it would put us in a space where we would actually do so much more.
So check it. I was kicked out from 18 years old. Up until this, I've had to really come to grips with no one cares. You just have to live. You have to eat. You have to have a roof over your head and that. Nobody cares. You might go and get a little like sympathy from someone over there, but that person over there is going through. My daughter got a tattoo the other day when she was up my way. Sonder.
What's that mean?
That means everybody in passing is going through their own life.
Wow.
My daughter's deep with it as well. She's 19, innit?
Shout her out. What's her name? Shout her out.
Shy. She knows she's
Shy,
in all my old music and all that. Anyone that remembers me from music. People say to me, right, I was Shy still. Yeah. But yeah, like anyone in passing is going through their own life. Nobody's got time to care as much as they might even want to. As soon as they turn their back, they're facing their own problems again.
So let's tackle that very, very quickly because we unfortunately we will have to wrap up very soon. In terms of like nobody cares, obviously I spoke about it in the sense of nobody's really that invested in our lives, isn't it? And when we kind of realize that, it allows us to kind of step into ourselves a little bit more. But on the perspective of like nobody cares about men a lot of the time, a lot of men feel like nobody cares about men. People always care about women. They always care about children. They always care about the elderly, people who have like disabilities, but nobody really cares about men like that.
Yeah.
Is that something that you feel? And if so, can you speak to us a little bit about what that feels like to have that emotion of like, no one actually gives a fuck about me as a man?
Do you know what it is? Once again, the power of now. I'm big on acceptance. Like I can't dwell on that. It's us talking about it right on the sofa. It's not going to change it. You get it for our generation, next generation, never change it. So I'm big on acceptance. If that's the case, I just have to go. Is
that not draining for you lot though?
Of course it is.
Like, what does that do to your mental to feel like, okay, I just got to keep going no matter what, even if I'm in pain, even if I'm hurt, even if I'm going through it, I just got to keep going.
Character building. That's the way I see it. Now I'm an author through all these years of nobody caring and this, and now I'm a bad boy author. You get me? That now that you didn't have to care. I'm just starting to realize. You get it? But at the same time, there needs to be groups of our generation that is opening doors to I actually care. That's why I've written this book. You get it? There are people out there that do care, but we're looking in the wrong places for people to care anyway. We're looking in our peer groups where people like crab in a bucket. It's all crab in a bucket.
So what does care for men for you? What does care for men look like from society?
Understanding, like, listen, people have come from where you come from. As much as we never listened to our older generation when we was younger, our older generation weren't doing road like my generation. Do you get it? So we are so close to yours. You'll have empaths like myself that don't want to see you go through that pain that I've gone through myself. And I've got answers. If you're gonna want to listen, you're gonna listen. If you're not, I hope one day you do. Do you get it? And like, I'm here. Like, I want to open up. Basically, I've started up a GoFundMe, the Pain into Power Fund, where from August 2026 it opens up. Any idea you got that you want, like you've got a talent, you want to turn that into something, we'll get you all the equipment. Now we're going to partner you up with a mentor that can push you to monetize that, what everything that you've got there.
To manifest it, basically.
Yeah, and now you've got the tools, you've got the knowledge to go and turn that into something. That's my version of caring and making sure, not going to the government and asking them for money and that, because that's another kick in the teeth a lot of the time as well.
So effectively what I'm hearing from what you've just said there is like, care to you looks like people showing and proving, really. People like you said, you've created the fund, you've written the book, people actually putting their money where their mouth is and being proactive, whether it's creating something within the community, whether it's setting up a trust. taking matters into our own hands. Would that be a correct interpretation of what you've just shared?
Yeah, definitely. Like we're surrounded by people my generation that's just doing a whole lot of foolishness as well. It's like they want to fit in with the younger generation. They don't want to grow up. But remember, we're growing up on Peter Pan and them. We've all been programmed. You can't be angry at no one, but at the same time, what are we doing here?
We have to take accountability effectively and make our own changes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're coming to close of the session with you today, VIP.
All right.
But before we go, I've got a few quick fire questions. I'm just going to shoot at you. Yeah, you're going to have opportunity. I'm just going to give you a little sentence stem and you're just going to finish it off for me. Yeah?
Right.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. So for you, masculinity is?
Being a man, being a man.
Tough one, isn't it, that?
Huh?
I feel like I stumped you with that one, Loki.
Yeah, you did still. You did. Just like masculinity, like, yeah, it's needed. It's not always needed you don't have to be an alpha male, should I say. Like, you can just be easy and read the room a bit and just work off of that information there instead of just running around with being masculine and that. You get it? Just be easy and just read everything. That's masculine too in my eyes. Okay, so you're saying it's not necessarily someone who's going to be big physical presence. It could be someone who's going to be observing of space and knowing how to show up in the space that they're in. Yeah, cool. Definitely. All right. As a man, I would love people to know. I love people to know, like you said earlier, like that we do want to be cared for at certain times, but like we've got to we end up getting to a stage where forget it and like sort of thing. But it would be nice to be cared about certain times still. The biggest wound men can heal from is abandonment. That's a big one. Yeah, abandonment. That's a big one. It's taken me decades. But it's maybe who I am. Yeah, I'm there now, sort of thing. All right, last quick fire and then we're going to close. Yeah. For me as a man, love is? Self first. Self first. You got to love yourself and give that example of how I need to be loved. And then if you love yourself, you know what, you get me, you're going to be more like open-minded about how other people need to be loved and why then like that and like this. So yeah, self. Everything's self. Love that. Yeah? Yeah. Final answer? Yeah. Love that. Well, guys, this has been VIP. This has been Mentality with myself, the Civilized Savage. But before we let VIP go, because we said nobody cares about men, no one gives a fuck. No one cares about you lot. But we do. I do. Yeah. I care about you. Yeah. So we are literally, not only figuratively, we are literally giving us our flowers. Giving you your flowers. Come on. So I got my little assistant in the building. Come on. Yeah. Flowers, flowering. Yeah, the flowers are flowering. Big love, man. I appreciate you lot. Trust. Yeah. I appreciate you lot, man. And just before we close, I'll just quickly plug the book, let everybody know who you are, where they can find you, all the good stuff. Hit the link in the description. I'm gonna give you your own affiliate code. Thank you, babes. Love that. So get that. The pain that turned into power, guide to planning with purpose in the elevator now the block. Thank you for my flowers, man. Oh, you're very welcome, babes. Thank you. I appreciate it. Being here. And your socials, drop your socials. VIP, busy, BUSY, low, LOW. That's where you'll find me on everything. Love that. Thank you, guys. So this has been Mentality. This has been VIP, and we'll catch you back for another session as soon as. Wow.